I got a really weird one to show you today. This is the LiDiRC L18 land and air fighter. Now, on face value, it looks just like a normal micro ready-to-fly quadcopter. There's no camera on this one. However, this one is weird. We have a controller here, and as you can see, spring-loaded sticks. So this one actually has altitude hold. It's about the size of a Hubsan H107D actually, so micro class. And like I say, the transmitter looks fairly normal here, so it takes 3 AA batteries. It comes with a screw in the back to show that it's a toy grade quad, and you turn the transmitter on. We've got some crazy flashing lights up the top there, and then just looking at the controls here, we have a takeoff button there. This one here, it says head free mode, so that's going to be headless mode, and then we've got 3D inversion up here, so that's going to be a flip, and then one key return, so I'm not going to be using that because I don't like it. And then here we've got a rate button here. It says speed plus and speed minus, so to see how many rates it actually has. And then this all seems to be a trimmer here by the looks of it, except for this one here. Now this one, it says UFO, or it says vehicle conversion function and brake. So this is really strange. These motors pop off like that. So that happens for all of them, and it's no longer a quadcopter. And what you've got is a pair of wheels, which is very odd. And then we have got this again, which is very odd. It's got a light on the front there, and I believe this connects up to there like so, and this one connects up to here like so. Then these wheels attach here. Yes, I know, novelty, right? And then this goes in this side here. The wheels are very loose, by the way. They just seem to come off, so might need to hot glue those on to actually use it. And then you're given this, and it's a bit of a pain to construct this. See, what it's trying to do is be two things in one: a quadcopter and a car. And the only one of these things that I've really liked was that one that was a car and a quadcopter at the same time. This one, you have to take it apart, mess around with it a little bit in order to make it a car, and then it becomes two things. So then we have this back thing here. You've got a little tiny wheel underneath there, and then this sort of fin here, and then this all detaches here as well. I had to put these in there. And then I think, oh, the wheel's falling off again. I think the idea is that that slots in there like that, and then this fits over the top maybe. There's no screws, I don't know. That's it, that clips in there like that, and the wheel's falling off again. And just like that, it transforms. So not the best transformation. Also, the controls are a little bit weird as well, so you have to press this button here for it to become a vehicle, and then this becomes your moving forward, so that will move it forward. Oh, these are so annoying with the wheels falling off. Time to get the hot glue gun out. So that is forward, that's your left and right. There's no back, and then weirdly this seems to do random things here, so that seems to make it turn that way, that seems to make it turn that way, and the wheel's falling off again. So really, I couldn't figure out this mode here. I think the idea is that it's like a 180 turn here. It says there, upward and down, left and right, 180-degree rotation towards the left, towards the right, left and right, 90-degree rotation. I can't quite figure these out, but really, if you just want to have it turn, just use this one basically anyway. So you do get some other stuff with this. You get given prop protectors for when it's a quadcopter, and these seem quite nice actually, nice and light. You get given only 2 spare propellers, and then you have this charger, so the battery's proprietary here, and look at the wheels fly off there. I think this is going to be a better quadcopter than it's going to be a vehicle. So yeah, proprietary battery there. It's a 300 milliamp one cell. So it's got like this little connector in here. Then you get given this charger as well, and that just plugs in via USB, and then that just slots onto there and charges in probably about 40 minutes or so. You're also given a screwdriver as well, and this manual as well. But yeah, I think I'm not going to get that much fun out of it being a car. I think with these wheels flying off, I'm going to hot glue that in, because look, they just fall off straight away. That one stays on a little bit better, but these wheels are going to just spin around and just fly off there. So okay, let's see how this acts as a ground vehicle. First of all, so I have plugged in this sort of back wing here, and actually there's a couple of LEDs that light up here, and the LEDs are pretty nice. So I'm going to use this to go forward and turn, and let's see how it behaves. So I've also glued on with hot glue the tires, and actually it's performing pretty well. It's a shame there's no reversing function, and it's not the fastest of machines, so I imagine that outside on some maybe rocky terrain it wouldn't perform so well, but here indoors, which is why I think it's meant, actually not too bad. So you can see there that if I come off the throttle, the LEDs go off, and it looks pretty nice. So let's see if I can figure out what these things do. So if I put this side up here, it sort of moves in a 180 degree, would you say? Maybe 90 degree? I don't know. Let's try that again. So let's try now to the left, see what happens. So I would say that is moving 90 degrees at a time, and then the other one is 180 degrees at a time, and it doesn't do it very fast. So I would say that function was pretty useless, but when you start driving it around, it actually isn't too bad. Look at that, it gets some speed up there, and it turns pretty nicely. You just have to hot glue those tires on there, otherwise they come loose. But actually, it's quite fun, I have to say. I'm not a big RC car person at all, but as sort of driving goes indoors, I can be quite accurate with this, and it works surprisingly well. It's just that if you get stuck somewhere, you aren't going to be able to reverse. So for example, if I try and go that way, see, I'm absolutely stuck now. But if I tilt it to the side, I reckon I could probably get myself free eventually. Maybe? No? Look at those wheels go absolutely crazy. No, I think I'm stuck. Let's see if I can get free of it. Not really. Oh, have I done it? Yes! Yeah, I wish it had a reverse function. I don't think that would be too difficult to achieve, really, so... Oh, I think I got stuck again. No, there we go. So actually, it's pretty fun in this car mode. I thought I'd find myself wanting to come out of this mode and go straight into the quadcopter, but actually it's not too bad. But I think I've completely got myself stuck there. Yeah, I'm not going to get out of that. Well, there you go. If that's your sort of thing, it's not too bad. Of course, it's a toy. So, you know, it's not a serious piece of equipment, but I'm having fun with it here. So, I think what I'm going to do now is put the quadcopter motors on, and let's see how it flies as a quadcopter. So, I want to choose the highest rate here, so let's see what I can press. So we've got a double beep that side, single beep that side, so double beep is going to be the highest rate. So let's try the takeoff button and see what happens. So the propellers are moving. Let's throttle up. Wow, and it jumps into the air. Look at that. That's making a bit of a fluttery noise there. But it doesn't seem to be wobbling about. It is bouncing up and down though, so I guess that is the barometer not quite getting the altitude correct. You can also see one of the LEDs slightly not illuminating as well, or is that just the angle? I think that might just be the angle actually. So yeah, it is fluttering about a bit, but it is keeping its height. Let's yaw it around so the yaw isn't too responsive there in this higher rate. And let's check out that lower rate. Even more docile there. So I would say this was a low and a medium. So let's see how it does doing a flip indoors. I'm a little bit scared, I have to say. Oh, I got it too high there. Let's try. Oh, it gains a lot of height. So it nearly hit the ceiling there, so let's bring it down a little bit. I mean, it is flyable indoors, but you can see it's bouncing up and down quite a lot. It's not that it's not getting its height, it's just that it's moving a lot up and down. And I actually can see it fluttering a bit, so it looks like the PIDs are slightly out with this one. Let's try another flip if I can. Yeah, so gains a lot of height. But it is flyable indoors. It's hard to do altitude hold indoors because it's just using a barometer there and it's taking the air pressure around it. And it is difficult to get an accurate reading indoors. I tend to find that altitude hold works better outdoors. I really like the LEDs on this one though, I have to say. But I think they needed to spend more time on the PIDs on this one because I can hear it fluttering around and I'm sure you can as well. But I'm managing to fly it. And I haven't crashed it yet, and I'm flying mode 2 indoors, so my native mode is mode 1. The throttle isn't that accurate. I say throttle, I'm in the altitude hold, so the slightest sort of bump on the throttle causes it to lift up quite high, so it sort of does it in increments, I guess. So let's push the throttle up and see what happens. You can see it sort of bounces up rather than being a smooth transition, but that's fine. So with this one, I would say that it half does a good job at being a RC car and half does a good job at being a quadcopter, really. And for me personally, I think I prefer to have a fully decent RC car or a fully decent quadcopter rather than half and half of each, but there you go, that's my opinion. It does fly, so I can't knock it for that, and doesn't seem to be doing too bad on the flight time either, and the LEDs light up really nicely. Whether it could carry a camera, probably it could, but it sounds like the PIDs are struggling anyways without a camera, so I don't know. Could go either way. It could make them worse, adding more weight, or it could make it better. Usually I would say it would make it worse because the fluttering sound that you get is usually a characteristic of a P gain being too high or a D gain being too high. And usually adding weight makes that worse, not better, in my experience. So, I don't know. I'd say keep this one as it is. And it's a bit of a novelty, this one, but it does work as an RC car and a quadcopter if that's what you are after. And because it's not carrying a camera, it doesn't really matter that it's fluttering about a bit, I guess. Certainly not flying erratically, that's for sure, but I'm a bit OCD, and when I hear something rattling around while it's flying, that bothers me, but I know it doesn't a lot of people. Getting a decent flight time out of this one. So that 300 milliamp battery is ample for this size. Try another flip. Went for a forward flip there, and it flips really nice actually. Let's try that again. Look at that. Really nice smooth flips indoors. And then a roll. It rolls really nice as well. So we've got an LVC here. So let's see what happens. See if it lands itself. Usually that's the case with these altitude hold quads. So let's see how long it flies for until it makes a dive. There we go. And it's landed, and it's also stopped the props. So there you go. That is my review of the LiDiRC L18 car and quadcopter. Yeah, it does half a good job at being a car and half a good job at being a quadcopter. So I'll put a link in the description if you wish to get one. As always, thanks so much for watching. Please continue to subscribe. Cheers.